Electabuzz had a great showcasing at the North American International Championship, getting top 16 and another placement in the day 2. We're going to be trying out Electabuzz Hard Trick Room and seeing how well it can perform. This is a Hard Trick Room Electabuzz team that did well at day 2 of NAIC. The idea of the team is set up the Trick Room and able to sweep in those 4 turns of Trick Room ideally before your opponent can stall out and then retaliate. So you have the Smeargle, which is a focus core concept of the team, and it is a really slow Smeargle that it underspeeds the Ursaluna and Calyrex, which means you are able to outspeed them under the Trick Room and go for the move Decorate, which increases the attack and special attack stats by 2 stages, which means you can get a +2 Calyrex or a +2 Blood Moon Ursaluna, significantly boosting their sweeping potential under the Trick Room with the really strong spread moves like Hyper Voice and the Glacial Lance. Pairing up with the Smeargle, you have the sweepers, of course. The Blood Moon Ursaluna with Life are pretty standard under that Trick Room, one of the most effective Trick Room sweepers in Generation 9. Alongside the Calyrex Ice Rider, the restricted Pokemon that's also able to have Trick Room and do a lot with that Clear Amulet preventing the Intimidates, Terrifier to prevent any Will-O-Wisp burns that can happen onto the Calyrex. Also helps into Flutter Mane and Chi-Yu, which can be a pretty big threat to the Calyrex, setting up Trick Room. And you have the close combat over the high horsepower on this one, because you don't have to get walled by like Pelipper, for instance, with Wide Guard. So you can hit those, you can KO Incineroar, for instance, if they're not super defensive, and a few other things that you can hit with the Calyrex. Otherwise, a pretty standard one paired with this core that we've seen before is going to be that Farigiraf, having that Armor Tail to prevent priority, so you can always get that Trick Room up, denying the fake outs, Mental Herb to prevent any taunts, for instance, and to just set up that Trick Room, Helping Hand support on the Blood Moon Ursaluna and the Calyrex Ice Rider, and Psychic Noise to prevent any healing is pretty strong. Follow up with the Annihilate, that is meant to take a trade on a threat to setting up the Trick Room, or maybe a threat to the Ursaluna or Calyrex. With that final Gambit, you usually are able to exchange and help out, so a 3v3 under that Trick Room makes it a lot harder for opponents to actually stall out the Trick Room. And with coaching as well to pair with the Calyrex Ice Rider in case you aren't able to get the final Gambit KO. And you also have close combat coverage alongside Shadow Claw to hit the Calyrex Shadow Riders outside of that Trick Room. And finally, the Electabuzz is a really cool tech on this team. You do have the Follow Me redirection, which is of course really nice because unlike Rage Powder, you actually are able to redirect grass types. You have that Vital Spirit ability over the Static, and that's really solid because one of the things you really want to redirect is sleep moves such as Spore from Amoonguss, which is a pretty common answer to Trick Room. So you have one way to shut it down with that Follow Me. You also have the Taunt, which is amazing because you can shut down opposing opponents from going for a reverse Trick Room or other setup, which is incredible. Volt Switch, which is a great move that you can use to pivot with Electabuzz to get in your threat more relatively safely in, like the Ursaluna or Calyrex Ice Rider, and then Feint to really help out to crush Wide Guard Mons, which is fantastic. It's a really awesome addition to this team, and we're going to be trying out and seeing how well it can perform. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator and the video report, you can check them out down below in the description. Clefairy, Calyrex Shadow Rider, the Raging Bolt, Rillaboom, Incineroar, Mienshao, a very, very offensive team. Redirection's a little bit annoying. I do like the idea of Final Gambit. I think this is probably a combination of the Farigiraf plus the Annihilate for Final Gambit. And in the back, I don't know if I want Blood Moon. Blood Moon's okay. I definitely want Calyrex Ice Rider. The question is, do I want Electabuzz, Smeargle, or Blood Moon? And since we're doing an Electabuzz video, I will do Electabuzz. Smeargle was probably better. Although Electabuzz actually could stick around on the field. Feint is actually important for breaking Wide Guard. So actually, now that I think about it, Electabuzz actually has a bit more value here than I thought. Like, obviously, you can decorate with the Smeargle, and that would be pretty important, but I think I don't need it because Calyrex Ice Rider can blow up this team with a boost, especially if I'm able to get 1k already on with a Final Gambit. So let's see what they decide. I think if they lead Calyrex Shadow Rider immediately, which they probably will, it's going to be an interesting game depending on like who their partner is going to be with, because if they do lead the Calyrex Shadow Rider, I do have the Shadow Claw threat. Clefairy plus the Calyrex Shadow Rider, okay. Against Farigiraf and the Okay, against Farigiraf in my Annihilate. Are they going to go for Follow Me? Do they want to risk Final Gambit? Or do they want to risk Shadow Claw? I gotta love these mind games, right? I kind of want to Helping Hand Shadow Claw super badly. I think I'm going to try it. Let's see. Did they protect? They didn't Terra. Okay, they protect with Calyrex, so it might just have been a Scout. Okay, that's fair. So they're going to Follow Me always this turn. I don't know. I probably want to switch out to the Annihilate. This is just going to be weird upcoming. I do want to go for Terra Blast into Clefairy. I think swap out into Electabuzz makes sense. They always have to fear my destruction with the Shadow Claw, so I will go Electabuzz. They should follow me here. Yep. I would have been Calm Mind. All right. I'm okay with Calm Mind. So I get a Terra Blast off into the Clefairy for some chip. I don't have to waste the Trick Room turns yet. I think I do want to set up Trick Room now, though. Actually, do I? I don't have a reason to. I think I'm just going to Psychic Noise the Clef. I'm going to Taunt the Clef as well. I don't know if they're going to protect or not, or if they're going to go for like a more offensive or aggressive option here. They just follow me. Yeah, that's safe. All right. They Calm Mind again. All right. Yeah, +2 special defense. Yeah, +2 special attack. I think Electabuzz probably takes 1 if I'm not mistaken. And getting this damage in the Clefairy as well as the taunt in the Clefairy means it's going to be harder for it to be utilized. Psychic Noise into the Clefairy. Good. I'm hoping Helping Hand Glacial Lance will do a lot. Gonna go for the Trick Room. And I'm gonna go for the Volt Switch. So we have gotten ourselves an okay spot. Like, this being Calm Mind actually helps out a lot because it's not Nasty Plot. If it was Nasty Plot, it would be like a lot harder to deal with because it would have been +4. But because it's only +2, I'm still not seeing the threat of the damage. We're gonna see Clefairy retreat, which makes sense. Incineroar coming out. There. And then we'll be able to absorb the attack here. They Terra the Calyrex, which is surprising here. All right. All right, they Terra in a Fairy. Are they going for Draining Kiss into the Farig? That's all right by me. No, they went for Astral. All right. Yeah, Electabuzz is able to survive 1, which is great. We are able to get a Volt Switch off into the Incineroar. Now we get to bring out our Calyrex Ice Rider, and we have finally set up that Trick Room. I could go Annihilate too, because I could threaten Final Gambit if I had not set up Trick Room, so I will go out into our Calyrex Ice Rider. And we do have the Terra, so we will go for the Terra here. I think my only concern is if it's Mienshao back, because Mienshao with the Wide Guard is not easy. But yeah, we will go for a Trick Room. I can't really close combat the Incineroar though, because I'd go down to the Calyrex Astral Barrage. So I'm going to go for Helping Hand and the Glacial Lance. Terrifier. If they go for a Wisp, this ends up being in a really solid position. If they switch out in the Clef, this is fair. I think it just, again, depends on Mienshao in the back. Having Electabuzz is kind of nice because I'll still have the Feint Pressure at least. The problem is the Calyrex is probably still bulky, but at least I'll have Final Gambit pressure as well with the Huge Annihilate in the back. Alright, so Terra Fire. Looks like they stayed in. I don't know if they attacked or not is a good question. Helping Hand for the extra damage. Let's see. They protect. That makes sense. Okay. If they Will-O-Wisp, then I think it's a huge momentum. If they knock off, it's okay. I don't think it's that bad if they knock off. Good damage to Incineroar, jeez. They Punish shot out the Farigiraf. All right. I'm okay with Punish shot on the Farig. Yeah, that's perfectly acceptable. Although Clefairy getting in and then they can Helping Hand, I guess is not great. It depends on if they actually pick up the knockout. I'm always going to Helping Hand in that Glacial Lance. Maybe this isn't as easy as I thought. I think it just depends on how much damage I do here. Helping Hand for Farigiraf. They didn't Helping Hand with Clefairy. Did they protect with Clefairy? Maybe they don't have Helping Hand. They protect. Okay. Passive. It works. Wait. Did they just get a double? Really? Yeah, they just got a double. They just protected the last one. Are you serious? Why? I'm just going for Helping Hand Glacial again. That should have been really hard punished. They had no reason to go for the double there. They had no reason. Calyrex survived one. I understand protect with Clefairy. Why did you protect Callie? After you, sure. Wait, is Trick Room... Did I click Trick Room by mistake? Or was Trick Room expired? Oh, no, because after you. I'm dumb. Forget what I said. I crit the Callie. Some justice, I suppose. Granted, I don't think I need it. Yeah, I don't think I need it, but we'll see what is coming up. Mienshao, yep. I'm just a bit worried about how much Draining Kiss is going to heal, but I think we're okay. I think I always Psychic Noise the Mienshao, and I always Close Combat the Calyrex. Yeah, no, I'm fine. They protect the Calyrex. If they take a knockout with Close Combat, that's all right. I get a Psychic Noise off in the Mienshao. Gonna be brought down to a Focus Sash. Are you going to take the knockout into Callie, or are you going to get damage on the Farig? Getting damage on the Farig would be smart. Nice. Okay, that works out. Because I just get a free switch back to Annihilate. Now they don't have a Close Combat switch in. And because they already used their Terra, I'm pretty sure that Close Combat Annihilate actually just sweeps them. Because they have Incineroar, they let the Clefairy go down. Yeah, I'm in a pretty chill spot. Kind of curious on what the last move on the Clef is. If I didn't have crit the Callie, I mean, I would have got Glacial Lance damage before, which would have been important. But also, I could have just Helping Hand Shadow Clawed, which might have been enough. Now I just go for anything, really, because I just outspeed. I go for a Terra Blast into the Mienshao and a Close Combat into the Calyrex. Yeah, the double protect on that one turn to Callie was super confusing, but it ends up working out perfectly well for me. Because, like, this is why I like Annihilate and bring it a lot, because it just has the option to clean up in end games like this. So, Close Combat into the Callie. Also, like, if I could have got the final Gambit off in the first game, it could have been incredible. We are able to knock out the Callie, which is beautiful. And let's see what the Mienshao does. I guess the problem with my turn 1 play, though, now that I think about it, is if they Terra protect, like they Terra the Calyrex and protect the Clefairy, that could have been something that I could have overlooked. So maybe it wasn't the best play. But they did double protect anyway, so I guess no matter what I did, it wasn't that big of a deal because I would just Trick Room and the switch is still like pretty acceptable there. Now Incineroar is by its lonesome self, and I can go for a close combat into the Incineroar. Beautiful. So yeah, it was pretty strong, was able to get into a position where I didn't have to get Trick Room up. Like, the thing is, because it was a passive lead, I wanted Chip on the Clefairy to put it in range of Glacial Lance, especially a Helping Hand one. Then it was just more ideal because the Calyrex was not doing any damage and taking a few turns to set up. It was just better for me to delay the Trick Room as much as possible until I found myself in that good spot where Taunt was super big. It couldn't Helping Hand. It couldn't go for After You. No Sing in that position. If it was Sing on Clefairy, I just had to dodge it realistically, but yeah. And thankfully, just having a safe pivot with the Electabuzz, it actually did put in a lot of work there. Taunting the Clefairy and the pivot, living the +2 Astro Barrage was actually really huge for what I was able to get. Terapagos, Grimmsnarl, Iron Hands, Incineroar, Fluttermane, and Urshifu. How do I want to stack up against this team? Terapagos, they have screens, which is going to make it a little bit hard to actually sweep. They have double fake out too. I do have Farigiraf, but I don't know if I really want to bring Farigiraf. I guess I could bring Annihilate because Final Gambit is something. But I do remember when Aurelian did play Audi on stream that there was a Thunder Wave plus a attack from the Terapagos, and that ended up making a huge difference. I don't know if this is going to be Specs Terapagos. Maybe it could be the Meteor Beam Rock Polish set because the team looks really similar to Japan. That's winning team as well. I think I'm okay with trying out the Farigiraf, the Electabuzz. I kind of want to have Smeargle, and then I think Calyrex Ice Rider in the back. I don't really like the Blood Moon because I don't think it does enough damage. And there's double fighting types, so I feel like I can get pinned very easily compared to Calyrex. Or at least I don't go down to like Fake Out plus Close Combat, which is a pretty big deal. The thing that I do have to worry about is, yeah, can I sweep them in time? Because they have quite a few bulky Pokemon like the Incineroar and the Iron Hands under screens, and the Terapagos that could be really scary. I think the thing is, I'm trying to figure out if the Terapagos is going to be Specs or if it's Meteor Beam, because if it's Meteor Beam, at least it has to take a turn to set up. If it is Specs, it can go straight for the damage, and that's not really ideal here. But let's see what they decide to go for. Gonna be the lead of Urshifu, Fluttermane. So we do have Mental Herb on our Electabuzz, or not, not Mental Herb on our Electabuzz. We have Mental Herb on the Farigiraf, so we don't care about Taunt on the slot. It's Speed Booster Fluttermane, which is not too surprising. I feel, can we live a Moonblast plus Surging Strikes to Close Combat? Maybe. I think I'm okay with just trying to get a Trick Room up though, and just Volt Switching out. Because if I can Volt Switch out into Calyrex and get it under Trick Room, that's already an amazing spot, because Helping Hand, the Glacial Lands will do a lot of damage. I think that's a pretty ideal trade-off. Because even Incineroar doesn't really want to switch into that. No Grimmsnarl lead is surprising for me, but I'm not complaining. This is more ideal. If they take the knock on a Farigiraf, I don't think it's too bad, because it's really unlikely they have double fake out in the back. Farigiraf gotta take a special attack drop. 30 strikes just into Electabuzz. Wow, they decide to divide and conquer. But the thing is, no conquer. It's just I'm able to hang on with both Pokemon. I'm able to get the Trick Room up safely, and now Volt Switch damage into Urshifu is really nice, because that is Glacial Lance range, or anything really. And now we get to bring out our huge threat in our Calyrex Ice Rider, and I think right now we just get to go for some pretty big damage with Helping Hand Glacial Lance. So very nice, getting a safe pivot into the Calyrex Ice Rider against these fast threats, and Trick Room will come out. We did threaten to follow me. I'm surprised they didn't double up to Farigiraf, but maybe they're expecting Farigiraf to, I don't know, Farigiraf Protect isn't very likely there. We go for Helping Hand. We go for Glacial Lance. Even if they have Incineroar, not that big of a deal. It's really hard to switch into the combination of Glacial Lance. Maybe they didn't bring it. Maybe they brought Iron Hands in the back instead, or just double protecting here. But even if they double protect, it should be okay. Okay. I wasn't sure if this was focused as Trick Room Fluttermane. If it was focused as Trick Room Fluttermane, But we already confirmed that it can't be Focus Sash because of the booster energy we saw. But who knows? Maybe it's Bold Flutter Mane. Could have been Bold Flutter Mane. We are just going to go for Helping Glacial Lance. I don't see a response right here. I think probably go Terapagos and have to burn your Terra Shell so you can sell out this Trick Room effectively. It's going to be pretty key here. Brimstone on the back. That's something. All right. All right, so they do go into Terapagos. They didn't bring Iron Hands or Incineroar, which I'm kind of surprised by, but maybe they were like, Farigiraf just makes it too annoying for these Pokemon to actually do anything. So Terapagos is going to come in. I'll gladly take it. We get a huge Glacial Lance off into the Grimmsnarl. We get to break that Terra Shell on the Terapagos, so I'm very happy about this. So here comes Glacial Lance. Unfortunately, I just don't think we're denying Reflect, but we'll see. Oh, we actually do, because we do KO the Grimmsnarl, no critical hit. Just the power of that Glacial Lance. So no Reflect, no way to self T-Wave your own Terapagos. Not looking too good for you. Not looking too good for you. Flutter Mane going to come in. That's completely fine. So I'm just going to go for Helping Hand. I could double Trick Room if I expected Terapagos to have Protect, but the thing is, if there's specs, then I think it's just better to go for Helping Hand Glacial Lance. I am just going to go for Helping Hand Glacial Lance. That was going to be forfeited. If we're able to sweep out the Trick Room, we're in a good spot. Back Grim, that's the problem with Back Grim. They weren't able to get into it safely. If they attacked their Shifu, I think they could have got Back Grim, but even, or they could have got a free switch into Grim, but even then, like you said, to Reflect, you lost a Pokemon. Terapagos' shell was broken. You're still losing resources, and most likely I would have still had an attack boost. So even though you have Reflect, I'm still doing massive damage. Just really tough there. Rhydon, Incineroar, Terapagos, Rillaboom, Comfey, and Iron Bundle. Sure. Crazy team. Trying to figure out how I exactly want to position this. I have double Fake Out. I have Farig. I do like Farig. I like the combination of Annihilate plus Farigiraf because Final Gambit is just so good into this kind of combination. Definitely want to bring the Calyrex. The question is, do I want to bring... I don't really like Blood Moon too much in this matchup. Smeargle could do something. I don't know if we're gonna see the Rhydon because I think unfortunately I don't think you would ride on this kind of team. Let's see. Smeargle allows for Decorate stuff and Spore Pressure. Electabuzz is more fun. And it does have Taunt, which is actually can be important here. And Feint is actually kind of nice against the Terapagos either way. I think I'm going to try it. I'll try it. Why not? I will try it just for the fun of it. We're bringing a Rhydon because we have the option to. Let's see what we can accomplish here. Final Gambit Trick Room is always going to be our play turn one. They don't have much offensive pressure at all. Incineroar Comfey? Sure. Incineroar could be Terra Ghost. I could close combat if I really, really want to. I'm going to go for Final Gambit into the Comfey slot. I feel like Comfey should have Protect. I really feel that this should be a play of... I really want to Shadow Claw the Incineroar. Well, actually, no, because if you do Terra, you can't... Actually, no, I always Final Gambit the Incineroar because if they can't tear the Terapagos, this is a lot worse for them. I'm going to Final Gambit. I'm just going to Trick Room. Yeah. I guess I could close combat, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. We're going to get the Final Gambit off in Incineroar. The Comfey attacked without going for a healing move. So I wonder if they have Trick Room. Or do they have Taunt themselves and are going for it, which is fine. Okay, they have Taunt, yeah. But I do have a Mental Herb on the Farigiraf, so that's not that big of a deal. Okay. And now they don't have a Glacial Lance switching. So we will get our Trick Room up. And go out into our Ice Rider. We actually see the Rhydon. Oh boy. Sure. I'm gonna protect, and I'm just gonna go for a Psychic Noise into the Comfey, or do I want to go for it into the Rhydon? I guess I'll target the Rhydon because I know it can't heal. They go for protect. Oh, did they have reverse Trick Room? The Rhydon's faster than my Calyx Ice Rider, which is actually good to note. The Comfey did something again. Did it taunt my Ferrograph? Reverse Trick Room, okay. That actually helps me because I apparently am faster than them. I'll take it. The thing is, if you ever want to tear the Rhydon, it's still a weird spot. I'm actually going to go for Helping Hand plus a Glacial Lance now. And try to get as much offensive momentum. Like, what am I expecting from a Rhydon, man? Psychic Noise could have been cool, but I don't know if this picks up the knockout. I would like to see if it can. If it does, that'd be great. Also, more damage to the Comfey is always nice. They taunt the Calyx Ice Rider, which is an interesting play. Okay. I can't protect or trick him the following turn. Glacial Lance into both. Huge damage. Rock Slide, sure. Yeah, it just does no damage. That's the thing. So now I can just go for Glacial Lance and... trying to figure out how I want to reposition. I do want a Glacial Lance here. The question is, do I attempt to Trick Room? I don't think it's necessary. I think I actually want to go out in Electabuzz. Yeah, I do want to go Electabuzz, actually. The reason I want to go Electabuzz is because I can go for Feint into the Terapagos' Terra Shell. If they had Terra Rhydon into like a water type, it actually would have been a threat in this matchup. They go for Flow of Healing, which I don't think that saves you. I'm pretty sure you go down to Glacial Lance. You saw how much the Helping Hand one did. Yeah. Goodbye. And now I think I do win because I'm pretty sure Feint Close Combat will pick up the win here. Comfey eliminated. And if it doesn't, I do have a few plays. Yep, Terapagos comes in. I get to click Feint plus Close Combat. Yep, perfect. All right, awesome. So let's go for Close Combat into the Terapagos. Let's go for Feint into the Terapagos. Can I Volt Switch out? No, right? The Electabuzz is faster, so I could technically Volt Switch out. Is there a benefit to going for it, though? Because there's no downside for me clicking Close Combat here. A crit is not knocking out the Electabuzz. I don't think this is a Meteor Beam Terapagos set. It should be Calm Mind. I'm just going to Volt Switch out. We are going to see the Terra come out from the Terapagos because they do not have the option to stay in the Terra Shell anymore. Because of the Electabuzz being faster than the Calyx Ice Rider, we will see that their Terapagos does go for its Stellar Terra. Let's see if they actually can pick up a knockout. Volt Switch. I'm actually faster than Terapagos. I did not anticipate that, actually. Alright, what are you doing with Terapagos? Calm Mind. Okay, yeah, no matter what, we're good. We're good. We are good. Because we have Close Combat, so we can actually... Like, if Glacial Lance was enough, because it's still +2 Glacial Lance, we might have picked up the knockout. Close Combat's 100% picking up the knockout. So, alright. So, the reward for the better support Pokemon that did more... I mean, I guess, like, Electabuzz... I mean, the Rhydon actually did decent damage with Rock Slide, but Calyx Ice Rider is just a monster. So much damage from Glacial Lance. But I did have ideas for Electabuzz with Feint, and if I needed to, Follow Me was still good. Volt Switch for pivoting for Ferrograph, although I was expecting Terapagos to be that slow, but I guess Electabuzz was just faster. Urshifu Tornadus, Iron Valiant, the Ogerpon Cornerstone, Calyx Ice Rider, and Raging Bolt. Oh, isn't this the team that got second place at Japan Nationals? I'm pretty sure it is. Looks like Focus Sash, Water, Urshifu, Torn. They don't really have the best answers for Trick Room stuff. Trick Room stuff's really hard for them. And it's fast Calyx Ice Rider with I think it's Trailblaze. Or maybe it's just Assault Vest. I know it has Crunch. I do like Electabuzz for Faint Pressure, like a lot. Don't really like for Rigraff. I do like Electabuzz. Just worried about their own Calyx Ice Rider, but it should be acceptable. I'm gonna go. Do I want to go Smeargle? I think Calyx Ice Rider plus Electabuzz is fine. I think it should be okay. And then in the back, I like Smeargle and I guess Blood Moon because I don't really need Annihilate in this matchup. I don't really need Farigiraf either. The problem is they do have double sash with the Focus Sash Urshifu and Cornerstone Ogerpon, which makes it harder for Hard Trick Room teams to actually sweep. But Faint on Electabuzz is actually going to come into play there because if we do bring him down to Focus Sash, Faint will just bypass him and they can't stall out Trick Room turns with Protect or Detect. So that can help here. I also like it because of the Iron Valiant carrying, I think he carried Wide Guard on this team if I'm not mistaken. Calyx, Ice Rider, and Ogerpon. All right. Against the Electabuzz and the Calyx. All right. Game is taking a while to load. Kind of curious if I should Volt Switch immediately or if I should follow me. I'm a bit worried about if Electabuzz goes down super quickly and they get an attack boost. But then again, I guess I could go to Blood Moon. I guess I can just trick. Actually, no, I'll just Trick Room here. Trick Room and follow me sounds all right. Yeah. It's passive though, which is why I was thinking of maybe attack. Ooh, they Terra early. And I mean really early. Is that Cornerstone Ogerpon? No, it's the Calyx. If it was Cornerstone Ogerpon, that would have been insane. Terra Water. Okay. I don't know why they Terra Watered here. There's no reason to Terra Water unless they're Terra Blasting. Because I don't get why you would want to Terra Water because he already resisted Calyx attacks. Ivy Cudgel going to be fired off. Hopefully Electabuzz takes this decently well. Okay. Glacial Lance. Can Electabuzz take it? Nice. Really good. And we get to trick him off. Great. And now I know that the Cornerstone Ogerpon can't go for the Terra. I don't get the Terra Water play at all. I don't. I'm just going to Glacial Lance and I'm going to go for Faint into the Cornerstone Ogerpon. Because it covers a Spiky Shield, we break a Sturdy, and then Glacial Lance would allow us to get a boost. So I don't know what they have as a switch in. I don't think anything switches into this Mon well, so I will gladly take the Glacial Lance. And next turn I get a free switch to Smeargle. All right, no Spiky Shield. Faint gonna come out in the Cornerstone. As they go for Follow Me, I guess to avoid a potential Volt Switch play. As we are able to get the Glacial Lance. Nice, beautiful. All right, so that's a huge knockout in the Cornerstone. One of their Focus Sash Sturdy Mons gone. Get the boost as well. They're gonna get a boost here though with the Glacial Lance. Also, as you can see, it's just really not doing that much damage to Calyx because of the fact that, yeah, it's just jolly Calyx. We're going to go Smeargle. I could go Blood Moon, but I think there's no point of going into Blood Moon. The reason I think it's worthless to go into Blood Moon is because just the fact that there are Assault Vests on the Calyx means I don't think I can pick up the knockout even with close combat Hyper Voice. We're going to see the Raging Bolt come in, huh? Okay. Was it not Booster or was it Magnet or Life Orb on this team? I guess that's fine. I'm going to go for close combat into the Calyx. I could go for Fake Out plus a... I could go for Fake Out plus a Glacial Lance. But I like the idea of going for the Decorate KO and a Calyx because Getting more turns of Trick Room I think is really valuable. I think I will decorate the Calyrex this turn in close combat and hopefully knock out their Calyrex. They go for Thunderclap, which is perfect actually. Nice. Yeah, it was Life Orb. Okay, so it wasn't Booster. We are able to get the Decorate off into the Calyrex. So we'll have our boost. Here comes Close Combat, which I think should KO. It's +3. Yeah. And because they're like Jolly Calyrex, I don't think they had nearly as much bulk as a standard Calyrex. So Calyrex does go down here, and that's perfect. Was more fearful of Crunch than anything, and now we should be able to sweep the rest of this game. Let's see who's in the back. I do have to watch out about Urshifu, and Urshifu does come out. I am going to go for Glacial Lance, and how many turns? 2 turns of Trick Room. I didn't Terra yet, so we're going to Terra our Smeargle because I do think it is the best Terra here, and just go for Follow Me because they shouldn't be able to pick up a knockout. I'm a little bit worried if they do get one of a double protect with Bolt. That's the only mon that I fear would actually be hurtful. Yeah, if they get a double protect with Bolt, I might lose the game. They do protect here. I don't know if Urshifu protects or not. They don't. Yeah, okay. I could have spored that slot, but I didn't really want to get Thunderclapped. I still think that this is acceptable, but yeah, it's let's see what's going to come out the following. Yeah, brings it down a Focus Sash, or doesn't even need to bring a Focus Sash. All right, we are going to be able to absorb the Surging Strikes. Problem is we go down to close combat in the upcoming turns. Not really much of a punish here. I mean, you should always go for the double protect. I get Glacial Lance plus... I mean, Glacial Lance Follow Me is the safe play. The question is, does the Bolt get the double protect? Because if it does, it might be better for me to go out in a Blood Moon Ursaluna. No, because they have Life of Draco Meteor on deck. Actually, no, no matter what, I think I have to Glacial Lance and Follow Me and just hope that they don't get the double. The problem of running Hard Trick Room. The problem of running Hard Trick Room. Although I could have spored the Urshifu, I guess. Is there an out? You're gonna close combat the Smeargle and go for... I guess even if you don't close combat, I mean, this is just really bad. I mean, my only shot is to go out in the Blood Moon or Ursaluna. Hope I can race that for Fake Out pressure with Smeargle. Alright, protect the Calyrex. If they close combat the Calyrex, I still think this is a game technically, but more likely to lose. They do close combat the Ursaluna. Wait, I survive? I was not meant to survive that. Oh no. I was not supposed to survive that. I thought it was going down. Because I wanted to free switch in a Smeargle. God dang it. Okay, I have to go back into Smeargle. This could still work out in our favor, but we'll see. Aqua Jet KOs the Ursaluna. I need to live a Thunderbolt. I need to live Life or Thunderbolt, and with Terra Grass, I feel like I should. Okay. Ah. That's so unfortunate. Double protect into the Fake Out stuff. That's the downside of running Hard Trick Room sweep style teams. I guess again I could have spored the Urshifu. But I think it was going to be a gamble of whether they went for a Thunderclap that turn or not. Because if they Thunderclapped, I lose the Calyx Ice Rider. And then if the Urshifu gets a 1-turn Wake, I would still lose anyway. So yeah, I just came down to that. Not much I can do. If I live the Thunderbolt, I can go for a mind game with the Urshifu Raging Bolt. I got to get the turn right because I can protect Calyx and go for Fake Out on Urshifu. Or I could go for Glacial Lance plus Fake Out. Or if I'm really crazy and just expect Urshifu to protect but the Bolt to attack, I can go for Fake Out on a Bolt and Trick Room. Like I had it out. I had an out, but didn't work out, unfortunately. All right, let's go over to games. In game 1, didn't have the best start, but I was able to delay setting up Trick Room until absolutely necessary with a safe switch using Electabuzz as a pivot for my Calyx Ice to threaten under the Trick Room. In game 2, got an amazing start with a strong hit into the Water Urshifu with Volt Switch, and then Calyx Ice Rider under Trick Room was able to sweep my opponent with Glacial Lance. In game 3, was not expecting the Rhydon, but because my opponent had Terapagos, Calyx was able to get rid of that threat as it couldn't Terra. Otherwise, they wouldn't have a Terra on the Terapagos, which means that I was ready to Terra. And then once the Terapagos came in, it was all by itself at that point, and I was just able to hit with some really strong attacks. In game 4, Life of Hard Trick Room users as a double protect can be a really big game changer, which meant I got punished for not making a more aggressive read when I could have by sporing the Urshifu when the Raging Bolt went for the protect and I went for the follow me. Overall, I think Electabuzz is a really smart addition to this build. I think having those techs with the Feint, the Volt Switch option, it gives a lot of utility. Electabuzz is also pretty bulky with that Eviolite, the Vital Spirit, allowing it to basically ignore the Amoonguss Spores and other potential sleep moves is absolutely fantastic. I think it's a really brilliant addition, and it did perform really strong at NAIC, being able to get top 16 and 2 placements in the day 2, which was excellent. If you'd like to try out the team, the rental code is on your screen. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.